Hi, Andrew Bell here, and it's great to be with you on what is proving to be a really busy month, the month of March. The standout activity in the course of this month has been incredibly strong sales in the commercial market. There have been lots of significant sales ranging from large commercial holdings through to development sites. There's no doubt that with the sharp decline in stock levels in developments that there is a screaming need for new stock to come on board. And so there's been a bit of a rush to secure good development sites, and it's great to see. In the residential market, there's also been consistently strong activity in the sub $1 million bracket, with home buyers starting to surface in stronger numbers and a little less activity from investors. Investors are starting to get somewhat priced out of the market, but there's still pockets such as Coomera which are incredibly strong and offering ideal stock for the investor market. It's pleasing to see as well the improved activity in the prestige end of the market, where we now have recorded 7 sales over $2 million, with the highest being in the month of March for just under $5 million. Okay, we're now looking at the next of the 5 fundamentals that have so much influence over the direction of the real estate market. And this week, we're looking at population growth. Australia was first settled back in 1788. It took 224 years to get to the 2012 population, but it's projected to double in just 59 years. Our population has increased by 30% in just 20 years. And on that basis, we've added the equivalent of Sydney's population since the early 1990s. Certainly capital cities and a select few regional areas, like the Gold Coast, have attracted most of that population growth. We do need a net migration of about 130,000 people just to offset the impact of the retiring baby boomers. That is because all age brackets, except baby boomers, are actually in decline in population size. The OECD has warned ageing countries such as Australia that reduced immigration will only lead to higher taxes and recurring budget crisis, and we're certainly seeing that in recent years. Most of Australia's economic growth over the past 30 years has actually come from population growth. And that is because there's an increased demand in areas such as retail sales and housing construction, and so on. Let's look at what has happened with the population growth over the past year. You'll see the graph on screen right now. The Australian Bureau of Statistics says that the Australian population, as at the 30th of June 2013, was 23,113,000, which is an increase of 407,000 over the previous 12 months. Births over deaths saw an increase of 162,000, which is up 2.4%, and overseas migration brought in 244,000, which is up 8.6%. A closer look over the last year sees that our population growth was up 25% on 2 years ago, and the current rate at 1.8% is well up on the 30-year average of 1.4%. Australia's population is increasing by 1 million every 5 years, and last year's population grew by 407,000, which was like tacking on another Newcastle or Canberra to our population growth. It's amazing how most people don't realise how significant population growth is in driving the real estate market. It's a huge driver. On top of that population growth, it's vital for the economy, as population growth means that there are more properties being built, which leads to a stronger economy. There's so much focus on the Reserve Bank right now getting our housing construction up to its normal levels to stimulate that economy. Another graph on screen shows dwelling approvals versus population growth. The graph shows that the population growth has been ramping up, as shown in the black line. The gap between the housing supply, which is the red line at the bottom, is widening. Unless we see more housing construction, it just means increased population is going to be competing in the resale market much more strongly than it is at present. Pleasingly, we're seeing an upswing in housing construction, but we'll talk about more of that in a newsletter in the not too distant future. Just out of interest, the larger proportion of migrants are from New Zealand, followed by England, South Africa, China and India. Whilst you don't feel population growth on a daily basis, it is impacting on a far greater way than most people ever realise. And there's no question that it's playing a major role in the current resurgence in the real estate market. Once resale prices start to hover around the cost of new development, then you'll see a significant increase in the building of new properties, and therefore will take the pressure off the resale market. Well, that's it for this edition. Don't forget, we have our big Commonwealth Games luncheon hosted by the Premier on the 4th of April. We'd love to have you present on that day, and it'll be the last opportunity of participating in such an event before our turn to host the Commonwealth Games in just 4 years' time. Don't miss out. You'll see the contact details on screen. Well, that's it. Regards for now, and look forward to seeing you in a fortnight.